and coming back so we can have our own, one consent. They made one consent against Anaga. You got to make one consent to be in code with HaWah to break this spell. And we got to do it together. We need everybody on this, man. They've taken counsel against your treasured ones. They have come. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. You're no longer a nation. Let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance, which lets you know that it wasn't the name of Israel we were called, you know what I'm saying? Israel, whatever translation this is, whatever we called it ourselves under the Creator, under the house of Jacob, it ain't even in remembrance, man. You know what I'm saying? The corniest thing I ever hear is, oh, well, you know, uh, all this is all about Isis, Ra, and El. My naga, we didn't put this together for us. They already are called the state of Israel and this and this and this. We're coming up, in the tracks of what they've done in Judaism and trying to get the babies out the bathwater, trying to rescue the babies, man, trying to get the truth. These are their translations. Israelites do not call themselves Israelites or the house of Israel. All these are different translations. The name Solomon is not how Solomon would say his name, is it? David would not call himself David. And the Preston never called himself Preston. So when you remove the titles, you start to remove the hijack and then say, okay, but there are treasured ones. All right, let's start there. HaWah exists. Let's really start there, right? They call God, but we're just talking dogs, and we're gonna talk some dogs. Don't trip. It always comes back to the dog heads that converted to Christianity and everything else, right? The dog-headed tribes, they needed an alliance. They wanted to make a confederacy to cut Israel off so the name is no more in remembrance. Not only did you not know that you're connected, to these great tribes connected to the inheritance of the Creator, but the name, you can't remember. Dang, you can't even remember your own name. That is humbling, man. They got their titles and all these family histories and all these things, and we don't even know our name. For they have consulted together with one consent against you. Do they make a covenant? A what? A treaty. We're going to talk treaty because we've been talking treaty, right? They're migrating, during these treaties, right? 1785 pieces of friendship, and before that and after that, they made a covenant with a bunch of other nations to cut you off from being a nation. They've cut off treasured ones because you were in a treasured place and because you are treasured. Even Hitler knew that. I mean, he knows who the Jews are, the Jewels, the Jewels. the tents of Edom and the Ishmaelites. We're talking a treaty. So whoever's involved in these treaties of pieces of friendship, whoever's migrating, had a hand in the treaties from a long time. Oh yeah, it's the same players, man, right? Philistia and Tyre and Assyria and the children of Lot. Oh, that ain't surprising. That train's never late. It's called out. It's clear. They didn't intend for us to wake up and know who we are and know who they are. And say, oh, you guys are such and such. You're the children of Lot, or what it is. Now they wanted us to be in Christianity, thinking all these are, Caucasian tribes. You know what I'm saying? And, they didn't want us to look at this and start banging on the children of Lot. Nah, man, we ain't trying to, you know, overly ignite some ancient feud with our brothers and this and this and that. But we gotta ask the question. We gotta, you know, see if we can piece together something that's been splintered apart and why did this covenant take place? We just read that we weren't listening. So that's the first reason. But what are they all getting out of it? Land, their kingdoms and their crowns, power, control, right? Do unto them as unto Midian. What happened to Midian? What happened to Sisera, Jabin, and Kasha? Oh, who were destroyed at Endor. So they were all destroyed. So, we can't make no treaties with tribes that are to be destroyed unless you start making some changes right away. That's between you and HaWah, but they became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, Zeeb, and Zebah, and Zalmunna, and all their princes who said, let us take to ourselves in possession the habitations of HaWah. Hijack City. You thought you could take into your possession the habitations of HaWah? Make it holy to your powers? It didn't work in Mount Carmel with Elijah. Mount Carmel didn't protect you. Harmonics didn't protect you there. You must have forgot who you're dealing with. I know it's been a long time. There's a lot of unbelievers. I guess perhaps we need a demo. Elijah's all about demos. Oh, my power, make them like the whirling dust, as stubble before the wind, as the fire that burns the forest, and as a flame that sets the mountains ablaze. So pursue them with your tempest and affright them with your storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek your name. Whoa, this is major, man. I'm glad I kept reading. Pursue them with your tempest, right? Affright them with your storm. What storm? Didn't we just say that they got some type of meteor storm supposed to be popping off right now? So, not a meteor shower. They upgraded it to a meteor storm, right? talking dragons, my nigga. That's what you are frightened about, not just some silly little storm. You scared of them dragons. This is why you had your dragon magic to tame these dragons, to subdue these dragons, to slay the alchemical dragons with the creation of opposites. So you created these opposites and then made them as a straw man to protect you and your identity and your power and your control. And you got us just fighting the whites. But white means pure. We're not fighting any pure souls. We're not fighting any code keepers. WIGHT, white means devil, and that's more like it. Yeah, we are fighting adversaries. You created a straw man, you created opposites to slay the dragon. I mean, just look up General Muck, man. You'll understand. They created our opposites and then subdued us with opposites. Black and white. Black or white. Let's go, man. Fill their faces with shame, HaWah, that they may seek your name, O HaWah. This is why you need us to be a tribe. You need us so that you can reach this level, the level of shame. As we have to go through our shame, we forgot our name. So the name of Israel is no longer in remembrance. That's a shameful, humbling process. You too have to be purified. You can't just hide out, shake up the timelines, reclassify yourselves, make your treaties with whatever power and riches and whatever, and think you're going to sit this out. Even when you know to do better, because really I'm talking to our generation. We could read about biblical times, which was really very recent, But we can make a difference. We can actually come together, my nigga. Like we're really doing this so that you may seek HaWah. He didn't say fill their faces with shame, and never let them have an opportunity. I mean, but you do have to get this work, because when you get this work, it's the only time you really ever going to be humble enough to seek HaWah. And I know you think you've been seeking the Creator because that's what you've been taught. But you can't be seeking without His ways, right? You can't be seeking and have no connection with rule number one: no power before your power. And if your prayer ends in the name of someone else, and your prayer involves all these other names, you're not seeking HaWah. They're not seeking your name. HaWah.